Welcome to the Scene Snobs Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to the Scene Snobs Podcast. We are back again for another all-new fun episode of the podcast. I am your host, Mick, and as you may see, my co-pilot tonight is actually my good friend, born in West Philadelphia, Mr. Sir Sturdy himself. You are very first princess tonight, and I love
you know what's funny you say that is I did slap a Chris before, so it's saying.
And he is kind of a comedian.
Yeah.
I love it, dude. I love the look. You look good. And you got your street trash shirt. Oh,
listen. You know what it was we talked for whatever reason. No, you asked me if I seen this before, and I was like, yeah. I was like, I actually have a shirt. I have the Blu-ray. I wore the shirt for you, honestly. I really did.
I love it.
I don't know how this movie came up in combo when it did, but it did.
Dude, I think it's great. I think Street Trash is a fun movie. People check it out if you're horror fans. Of course, the man, Sir Sturdy, comes in and usually he's basically a host at this point whenever he wants to join in. But he has a great show himself, and you need to check it out because tonight it's on at 8, and you're going to want to see it. Horror with Sir Sturdy podcast. Of course, that's Tuesdays and Thursdays during Sturdoween. You're going to want to check that out. And then, of course, Friday nights, Sturdovision, midnights, baby. But he does a watch party before. This week, Death Proof. I hope you're going to be there for it. Sturdy, you want to let the people know anything else before we get started?
Really quick. No Friday show this week. the Friday show is gone to November like Wyclef, just because it's all revamping it a little bit, and just to kind of because I'm doing 2 shows a week plus popcorn and pints. But yes, actually, so we're Evil Death Trap tonight, part 2 on Thursday. But for all you Wizarding World Harry Potter fans, popcorn and pints, we are diving right into that this weekend. We're starting with Fantastic Beasts and going all the way through all the Harry Potter films, and it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a fun time, and I hope you're all there to enjoy it with us.
Yeah. And yours truly will be there to add some lack of expertise, so make sure you join in for that.
And I got to tell you guys this. Be ready for this.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are going to start listening to Popcorn and Pints a lot more because there's going to be a special character, and we came up with a special thing over there that you guys are going to talk about. You guys are going to want to tune in for that and check it out because it's going to be fun.
It is.
And we want it to stick like the Miyagi line.
We haven't done the Miyagi line in so long, but I would definitely, I don't know if I would put either of these movies tonight on the Miyagi, above the Miyagi line for me. Good movies, and we'll get into all that. But
oh yeah, I would, especially one of them.
But we'll talk more about that when we review them, which will be a spoiler review of both Speak No Evil from 2022 and the new remake that just came out from 2024. Starring James McAvoy. So we'll be talking about that and more. I want to thank the sponsor of this video. Thank you so much, Sticker Mule. You guys are awesome. Go check out the link below. They're giving $10 off their first order, so go check them out. I got stickers. I ordered my stickers from there. They're all awesome. Got a whole bunch of keychains with the Scene Snobs on there, which is so much nicer. And I will tell you also, I do want to gush over one other sponsor of ours real quick. StubHub, which is also linked down below if you need tickets for anything. So Mary and I were talking about going to see a show, and I can't believe I'm saying this to you, but 2 comedians that we really like, Martin Short and Steve Martin, are going to be in the area. In the area soon. What, you hate white men with white hair? Old white men.
Wait! I don't hate. It's just they're not. Those Steve Martin's not funny. Neither is the other one, Leslie.
First of all, Leslie Nielsen. Yeah, we found out you don't like him either. We know what it is. We know what it is. You're white hair racist. Is what it comes down to.
I gotta find some white hair people that are funny.
I'm sure there's some. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna keep a lookout. I
appreciate that.
But I do think Steve Martin and Leslie Nielsen are very funny. And rest in peace, Leslie Nielsen. But so I was looking for tickets, and I realized it's like a long commercial. But essentially, I went on StubHub, looked for it, and they had what I always wish everybody has, and some may, but I've never seen it. But StubHub had it today, and I loved it. It's the view from the seats you choose. So like how it's going to look, all the seats in front of you and everything else. I was like, this is amazing. I need this. StubHub is doing it right, and that's why I love them. So go check out StubHub. That's where I buy my tickets from. Link down below. Let them know Snobs sent you. Also, Sticker Mule. They're awesome too. So, guys, here we go. Are we ready? It's going to be quite the mystery tonight. It's our true crime episode. And the true crime we're talking about tonight, did he do it? I might even change the name of, of this episode to Did He Do It? Just Christ. I love it. But no, we're just talking about Diddy and the fact that he was arrested and denied bail and on so many charges. I can't even find them all listed.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of them. So I wanted to get you. So since we're talking about crime tonight, we're going to be talking about our favorite detectives and the movies and such. What do you think about all this? This is bonkers, right? I mean,
it's one of those things where like you wish it wasn't real. And I don't mean as far as him getting arrested. Well, yes, him getting arrested, but also him doing all that disgusting stuff to people. Because it's like, we were just talking about this before we went live, just growing up, listening to his music, listening to the music that he was involved with, which is a ton of amazing music. And then just like seeing the music videos and seeing certain things, seeing certain shows and other stuff that you just like, this looks cool. This looks like a fun time. Like, I want to do this. And not even necessarily in the music way, but just like being around being around the things and all the fun stuff you've seen. And then you grow up and you just like, you realize that it's not what it seems. And he did a lot of dirty, fucked up shit to people, like a lot of disgusting stuff to people. And the video alone that we seen of Cassie right there alone should have had him locked up, in my opinion, because that's just disgusting. You shouldn't, and I'm going to say this, man or woman, you shouldn't put your hands on anybody. You shouldn't hit anybody. You shouldn't do that to a woman, but you shouldn't stomp a man out like that either. That's disgusting. There's no reason for it.
It's just, at that point, you are just trying to establish like some sort of dominance, and you're just, but like not even in a sporting way, like you say about, animals, predator and prey, like, when they're establishing dominance, it's a natural sense. This is you just being a prick. But I mean,
and for them, when they do it, like, that's just a part of their nature. That's just like, listen, this is how we're going to do it. Now, listen, I'm the leader, you're second in command, and so on and so forth, or whatever the case may be. With him, that was a normal thing. That was like a normal day to him.
Yeah, I know. In a towel too. Like, first of all, when I get a towel that fits me, I'm not running anywhere in it. You have to be dedicated to run in a towel. Like, you have to be enraged. And I'm not saying it's justified by any means or anything.
Oh, hell no.
You have to be that disgusting of a human being to get that enraged to do that. But like I can't even fathom having to, like, if you screamed fire when I get out of the shower, I would be like, I would get back in the shower and hope for the best.
It's like, well,
like, I got water. Am I good? Open a window. Like, is this all right? I'm not running.
Sounds like someone wants to get saved by a fireman.
That just hurts. All right. I can save myself from the fire. I'm saying, listen, if I'm in a pair of shorts, I'll run. You know,
we already said you're in the shower and you don't want to run, so you're just waiting for some big, strong brute to come save you and carry you out in front of your wife and kids. You're all holding him in his arm. He's all holding you in your arms. You're like this, all smiling and stuff.
What do you think this is?
And then that song playing in your head. I can't think of that song. You know that song when someone's getting carried. One of those love songs.
Officer and a Gentleman. I know exactly the one you're thinking about.
Yep.
Love lifts us up. Yeah. Oh my God. Jeez, I put on, like, I take his helmet off and I put it on. And he's like swatting me away.
Tell you to stop. You're singing. You're singing. You think it's in your head, but you're just singing the song off key.
I just imagine myself doing that.
And what would make it even funnier if Mary was like this? Not this again. Like,
I'm outside the house burning, and me, like, my dog running around the yard. God forbid, I hope it never happens. And then just me in his arms, just going, lifts us up where we.
Oh my gosh! And what would make this even crazier, right? You wake up and Mary's like, "Mick, you're talking in your sleep again. What the hell goes through your mind?"
That's it. It's all a dream. It's like St. Elsewhere. It's just some autistic kid's dream in the snow globe. Don't even get on me about that, internet. That is truly the way that show ended.
That's not lying.
That is. I'm just being accurate. You can't hold that against me.
I want to find you a snow globe with a fireman in it now.
Dude, it's been so wild. Like Diddy is in jail. Not saying like that, not deservedly, of course, but like there was a second assassination attempt on the former president. It's insanity to me. Like, first of all, people, stop trying to kill other people.
It's crazy.
It's insane. It's insane. I don't care what you think. That's not how this works. Stop going back to that weird paradox of like, if we travel back in time and kill Hitler when he was a kid, would we save everyone? It's like, what? Stop. All right. We can't do that. So stop trying to do it now because you don't know what you're doing. And it's terrible. Like I don't want to live in a world like that. Like we're America. We should not be having this type of violent politics in our country. This is what you see from dictatorships. You know,
She's right.
Craziness. So there's a lot of crimes. That's what we're talking about.
There's a truck. Yeah, there really is. And it's just we'll see what happens. I wonder if it's going to be televised once the whole trial goes down. Or is that something that they'll kind of...
There's no... Unless the judge has integrity, and I'm talking like true to form integrity, and locks out the media, there's no way you're keeping the media out of there. This is going to be like as big as the OJ trial. And I'll even put it up there. The Menendez brothers was a huge trial, if you remember that. You might have been a little too young for that. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't, but my father told me about that. Actually, he told me about it when we I was young. I don't remember how old I was, but watching an episode of The Fresh Prince, because they made a reference to it, and then he explained to me what it was. And from then on, I laughed at that part harder because I understood the reference.
Yeah.
The situation is not funny, people. I wasn't laughing at the situation, but just,
Oh, I got it. No, I definitely understood what you're saying. But like, yeah, it's like when you get you're in on the joke now. You understand like what they're referencing. I definitely get it. And yeah, it's proper reaction, in my opinion. But unless you're a dick, you know. But I will say, like, a lot of that, like, just, it's fucked up. It's crazy. It really is. Like, this is, like, there's so much happening. And, like, even, like, okay, so, like, even around here, it's been really affecting us because, like, there's been, just in the last, like, since the Georgia school shooting that happened, and heartfelt thoughts and prayers, of course, go out to their families and such. And there's been scares just in my county, and I can't even imagine. It's got to be everywhere, like and I'm not dismissing it anywhere else, but like in my county, like 4 days last week, there were threats. One of them was like substantial, like they went and arrested the kid. Wow. And then like today there was a lockdown because of a possible. Now it was discredited, the threat, but it's like, God damn, when you got 2 kids in school, man, this is in 2 different schools too. You're like, no bueno. Like what is happening here?
None whatsoever. Whatsoever.
It really is. It's bonkers to me that we've gotten to a place where, like, I don't know if school's the best option anymore.
It almost seems like it's not, man. And it's sad to say because it's not everybody can homeschool. Not everybody can afford to. Not everybody can. I mean, people, most of America has to work. Most of the world has to work to make a living. Not everybody has the money to where, say, just one person can work and somebody can stay home and homeschool. I don't even know how that shit works, but you know what I'm saying? Like that's expensive. That's a lot.
Oh hell yeah, and it is, and like nobody can really pull something like that off, easily unless like you would. Yeah, you're pulling some stuff in, so it's not an easy thing to decide. But like, how do you like? It's so bonkers. And I'm not saying any one thing or the other. And I'm not trying to make this a political statement about like, okay, we need to do this, or it's about this, or it's about this. I'm just talking about like, can we all agree as human beings that we want to, can all good people agree? Because you can't count on bad people. You can't count on the people who hurt children for any reason, So like, can we agree as good people? Like, we don't want to hurt children. We want to make sure that they're taken care of. Right. So
make sure they're safe.
What are we doing? Like, let's do that.
You know what's crazy about this too, man? And like, it's sad and it sucks to say this, right? We have to put more protection. I mean, if you're going to keep sending kids to school, you have to put more protection on the schools. I mean, you put all these protection on these dumbass government buildings and these politicians that don't deserve it, in my opinion, over our children. Why? Why don't these? I mean, and again, it sucks. It shouldn't have to be like this, but now it's time to the point. Put metal detectors in every school.
I think it's starting to too.
If it's going to make it safer, do it.
Yeah, and that's what's so funny to me is because why not? Because there have been so many schools. Now, I did not go to a school that had metal detectors.
Now, I mean, I know they're in.
I was in Catholic school for all those years.
Yeah, I was gonna say not all, but I know they're in a lot of like inner city schools. They have no problem throwing them in the urban schools, so throw them in the ones where the shots are really firing, and that's in the suburb schools.
Yeah.
Let's stop trying to sweep shit under the rug and trying to make it look like a rich versus poor thing when it comes to stuff, especially our children, because that's what it kind of makes it look. You know what I mean? In a sense, I'm not even putting it on a race thing, because people in those neighborhoods that go to those schools in the metal detectors, that's all different races. They just happen to live in that neighborhood.
Yeah,
and if they have them, they should have. Like, why not? Why not do anything you can to protect these kids? That's the most important thing you can do. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be to where they have to have this guards or whatever the case may be. Like, you should be able to go anywhere you want. You should be able to go to school, get an education, and feel safe and be safe. And same thing with going to work and all this, that, and the third. But obviously, the most dangerous thing, it seems, maybe not the most dangerous, I don't want to say it like that, but this stuff with the school shootings, this should have been nipped in the bud years ago. After the very first one, there should have never been a second one. But they happen in America all the time. There's some we probably don't even hear about, because I don't hear about every single one of them.
Yeah.
Or at least where someone brings a gun to school. That should not be happening. Yes, I know it starts at home, but it's also like something should be preventive at the school as well. So that way, if someone does have I understand schools have lockdown and all this other stuff now, but you need something to prevent the things from getting in the school.
Yeah. And I don't understand where, like, listen, it's hard enough. Like, teachers get paid pretty much nothing, and it's disturbing. It's disturbingly so, and they have to put out even more money throughout the year
for supplies for the school. Why doesn't the school supply the supplies for that?
Yep.
What other job do you have to go to? Like, I work in an office, right? If I had to print something out, I'm not going to bring ink to my job, am I? So why the fuck does the teacher have to buy pencils and all this other shit for the classroom to teach? That's stupid. The school should be supplying that.
All state buildings, federal buildings, everything.
They get all their supplies.
All their supplies. Why aren't schools doing the same? If they're funded that way, why aren't schools doing the same?
Yeah, if they're funded that way, and if they're not, these big businesses, hey, what? Help these schools out. You billionaires, you got all this money. Start putting money into these schools. Start putting money into these kids.
You think somebody like Amazon wants to do that? Hell, and I'm not saying they don't. I'm not saying there's not some charity that they're writing off or whatever and doing it. Whatever. Okay, let's be real. You donating to charity versus like me donating to charity, that's a drop in the bucket for you. Mm-hmm. Whereas, like, if I'm donating to charity, that means something. Like,
it's really coming out of your pocket. It's really going to affect, like,
yeah.
I got to make sure I can afford, before I can even donate, I have to make sure I have the extra money, whatever I'm going to donate, that I can afford to do that. Because I have to take care of home first. That's always going to be first, but I always want to help. And I'm like, with me with the charity thing, I'm like, I don't know how the things work, but I feel like if I had the money, again, I'm just speaking because I don't know how it works. Maybe there's other things. So if I had the absolute money to do this, listen, okay, there's these like schools around where I grew up at. Listen, I'm just going to go there and listen, you guys need supplies. Every single classroom is going to be stacked with supplies. Not because it's through some charity and all this other nonsense. No. Boom. But listen, let's make sure all these schools have what supplies do they need? Let's make
that's sure why we're not billionaires. But that's why, because the billionaires of course hold on.
It starts there. And then it's like, okay, so every single kid needs a laptop. They have to have this to go, okay, well, we need to supply that. Yeah. We need to supply it because not everybody can afford that.
It's true. Well, I don't want to go off on that tangent. Like we were talking about, a lot of the stuff that's been going off, and you're absolutely right. And my point, like with the teachers and stuff like that, is like with the protection in schools, and that's hard enough. Like things like that, like those type of events are hard enough for police to handle, so, and they're not even, and right now, technically in schools, the teachers and the faculty are the first responders to helping these kids.
Sometimes the kids are the first responders. Like,
sometimes helping each other. Like it's bonkers that it's like that, and truly criminal. I don't like, I don't have any answers. I'm never gonna have answers. When we talk about this stuff, we're getting a little serious about it, and I don't want to. I want to take it to a fun place, but it's hard to do with this topic. I mean, really, when it comes down to it, like I said, decent people in the world. Like, can we all just agree, even in this country? Can we just agree in this country? Like, we want to, like, okay, this is why I'm getting on this, and I didn't really want to say it this way. Why am I watching a presidential debate where I heard a former president, now trying to become the next president, fight about their eating pets in Ohio? And we really got neither of them mentioning any of the school shootings, especially the one that just happened. That's where I get upset. That's where I get pissed off about it. And that's where I'm pushed a little far. They didn't really, there's no real talk about it. There's nothing really happen about it. But we have to get in desperation over pets that are not even real being eaten. And even if they were, fine. But like, I'm still prioritizing. I love my pet and I would do anything to protect it. But like, then protect it, Ohio. What do you want me to tell you? Like, I would fiercely protect my dog if somebody was coming to do that. Do the same if that's the case. Like, it's like screaming at a chair. It's like Clint Eastwood screaming out the chair that Obama wasn't sitting in. So, like, I realize when I'm saying to Ohio, protect yourselves from this thing that's not happening. Yeah,
he's talking to you, Jason. You represent Ohio.
One Ohioan in particular.
Listen, that's the only one I personally know from Ohio. So you represent Ohio for us.
I know a few. I know a bunch from Ohio, actually. Lovely people. So I figure Ohio is one of the better states.
I'm going for me. I'm going for what I know, Mick.
And
so you have a few different sources. I have one. For Jersey, I have a couple sources. Like you, my cousin, a couple cousins.
I heard Ohio is home to Blood Lake.
Probably is.
Oh God. Well, anyway, let's stop worrying about the pets, start worrying about the kids. Let's just worry about them both. Let's just worry about them both and take care of them both. I don't understand why it has to be one or the other, or just bickering and fighting.
Here's a solution, people. Be nicer. Just be nice. It's easy.
As the men said, be excellent to each other. And on top,
you don't have to like everybody. Ignore them. Just be nice.
Just be nice. I challenge everybody to go out. Oh, we didn't start that yet. I challenge everybody to go out. And we're starting in a second, though. That's going to be a bitch. So challenge everybody to go out and say one nice thing on any comment on anything. Just say something nice, please. There you go. Encourage somebody, or just like, what's up? Let's get this 5 takeaways movie detectives started. Our top 5 movie detectives. You ready, Sturdy?
Yes, sir.
I thought this would be a fun one, especially considering I've got my Beekman's World camera angle going. Batman. Like, it's anybody's listening to the podcast has no idea what I'm saying, but I love you. I'll take a picture of it when I'm done, so that way I can post it. Like, I'm in my Batman.
Well, there you go.
So, top 5 movie detectives. I thought this would be a fun one. Let's kick it around. I'm gonna have you kick us off with your number 5. What's your number 5 movie detective?
Clarice Starling.
Ooh, good one. I contemplated her for my list.
I haven't seen the movie in years, so I'm not gonna pretend like I did. I already told you what I had to look up a list of detectives because I'm the horror guy, as you know. As Mick said, that's my thing. I'm horror, and so I'm like, what movies have I seen? And it just didn't snap at me like this. I had to look it up, and I found a few. But her, it's my first one.
Very nice. I like it. All right. My number 5 is Brendan from the movie Brick. It was a Rian Johnson film that came out in 2005. And actually, it stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It's a film noir set in a high school. So they speak like it's a 40s film noir. It's very stylized, but at the same time, you're watching a high school film unfold where a kid is trying to solve the murder of his ex-girlfriend. And that kid is played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. His name is Brendan, and that is my detective for my number 5.
Nice.
What is your number 4, sir?
John McClane, Die Hard.
Ooh, solid choice, sir.
So what's funny about Die Hard, people, yes, 30 did see that one time. It was because of my other show. Because the other show, we reviewed it for a Christmas episode, and what a ride that was. And it's like, there's certain movies that I am kind of happy that I'm just within the past few years and in the near future watching for the first time. Those gems that people love from back in the day, because especially reviewing them like on the pod and all that, because the conversation is just so freaking fun. Yeah. It's that much more fun because you get to see my excitement, and I love it when someone else watches a certain movie that I love and they're watching it for the first time, or that I just really enjoy or whatever, and they're watching it for the first time and then we're talking about it. Oh, it's so fun. I get jealous of that at times.
I will tell you, that's a great choice. I love that. I didn't even think about it. I think my number 4 on the list, just to kind of compare, is Eddie Valiant from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I almost put him.
Oh, yeah?
I almost put him.
I think it was a good fit. I like the movie. I like him in it. It's actually funny because I think I've told this story on the show before. I might have, and I don't know if I told you. So if I did, forgive me, but I'm telling it again for anybody who may find out now. The script for Who Framed Roger Rabbit was originally the 3rd script in a long line, in the line of, it was a trilogy. It was called I think it was like the Public Works trilogy or something like that. In the Chinatown, The Two Jakes, and then it would have been the script for Who Framed Roger, which ultimately became Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which dealt with very similar theme in the transit system, the trolley
Mhm.
versus, what they're trying to do with the buses and kind of take over a town and take over a section of town and stuff like that in LA.
Yeah.
So they took the script once the two Jakes didn't do well, which is a good movie if anybody has checked it out. It's a sequel to Chinatown, very good, directed by Jack Nicholson too. So that it was a pretty good movie, but like if they had done this, like I'm glad they went this way with it, and I think it worked well in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And I love Eddie Valiant, a character by Bob Haskins, but essentially he's sort of in a weird way supposed to be JJ Gittes from Chinatown and the two Jakes. So that's kind of sort of a cool connection, even though I didn't put JJ Gittes on my list. I'm so long-winded. I need to stop being.
That was good though. That was good.
Thank you.
I do want, before I tell you my next one, I do want to about that movie. Eddie Murphy that was supposed to originally do that role, or he was offered that role first, right?
I wouldn't like if you told me, like if somebody said that or something, like Eddie Murphy was originally offered the role as like trivia, I would believe it. That was a pretty big vehicle.
I feel like, and I'm not even making this up, I swear I watched something recently with him saying that, and like after the fact he was like, I should have did that role, and I'm just like picturing him in that role because he was like me with a cartoon rat and just the anime. It didn't make sense to him at the time.
I think Eddie Murphy would work well in a Looney Tunes movie.
Oh yes,
I think he could pull it off really well if you just let Eddie Murphy be Eddie Murphy.
You have to let him be Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. So
yeah,
it'd be interesting for sure.
Yeah. But speaking of Eddie Murphy, Axel Foley.
That's a great one. He missed on my list, but that's your number 3, right?
Yeah.
My number 3 is Virgil Tibbs from In the Heat of the Night. So it's played by Sidney Poitier. If you haven't had a chance to check out either one of these movies, Beverly Hills Cop or In the Heat of the Night, you absolutely should. It's fantastic. What's your number 2?
RoboCop.
That's a good one. It's a good one.
But again, he was on that list, and I even questioned. I was like, "Is he considered a detective?" I was like, "Because I haven't seen the movie in a few years, so I didn't really remember." And you said it qualifies. I'm like, "Okay, I had to put him on here."
It's solid. It's a solid pull. All right, my number 2 on the list. That's where we're at too, right? So Shaft.
I knew you were
John Shaft. We talked about it earlier. I freaking love Shaft.
We were talking about Shaft being your dad. I started the conversation. You were just like, "That would be so fucking cool."
That would be cool. That'd be, and it would. I'd kind of understand my proclivity for leather jackets more. So I love it. I'm all about it. I love Shaft. So that's my number 2. Hardcore number 2. I love it. Speeding Through. What's your number 1?
Mike Lowry, Bad Boys.
Mike Lowry, Bad Boys. I like it. I actually went with a team because you can't solve it without all of them. And that is the team of Mystery Inc. for my number 1. The Scooby team, baby. The Scooby gang. They're my favorite because they're spooky adventures.
I never even thought of that.
I love it.
I was only thinking, and I know they have a live action movie. I was only thinking of live action movies, and the Scooby-Doo movie didn't even think about it. But I actually like the cartoons way better than the movies.
In fairness, though, they have 48 movies, and only a few of them, like maybe like 4 or 5 of them, are live action.
Oh,
so
I didn't even know
because a lot of those they made a lot of animated movies that came out straight to video.
I didn't even know that. I just seen a lot. I just remember seeing the cartoon. I probably seen some of the movies, just didn't even. Maybe I don't remember. But that's a good one. I have one honorable mention, and it's Dick Tracy. Part of it is because of the name. I mean, Dick and Tracy. Never mind. I remember seeing that movie back in the day as a kid in the early 90s. It came out in 1990, and I have never seen it since. I do want to watch it again, I think.
Yeah, you absolutely should. I think you should.
Popcorn and Pines, watch out because we're gonna have a detective wheel and Dick Tracy's gonna be on there.
Oh man, I'm gonna start putting that together.
Be happy about this. I already know Shaft is gonna be on there.
Shaft is 100% gonna be on there. If you guys haven't seen it, you're in danger of
too
much
on.
Shaft happening.
Put them both on.
Which one? What do you mean both? I'm sorry. There's 5 Shaft movies.
Oh, so do a Shaft. Shaft can have its own little thing then.
Yeah, we could do a little Godzilla franchise thing for just Shaft. We could have fun with that. But that's our 5 detectives, and we thank you guys for watching. Let us know what your 5 detectives are. You can let us know in the comments, or you can head over to our Discord. Best way to do that is to join up on our Patreon. That's how you get invited in. You can either join for free, or you can join the paid tiers. either one will get you into our Discord, get you a part of a lot of perks. Like we have our newsletter, our videos are all in there. We do giveaways. Right now we're doing giveaways. I'm actually pretty excited to announce that. I did not put it up, but I didn't put it up the things, but just so you guys know, and for everybody listening, we are giving away the Beetlejuice popcorn bucket and the Beetlejuice souvenir cup to 2 of our lucky patrons. They're going to each win one of those items. Yeah, it's going to be exciting, man. I'm super excited. Yeah. So, and we're going to do that on our Halloween show. We'll do that. Oh no, we're doing it on Halloween. We're going to kick it off right before Sturdy's show. We'll pick the 2 winners. So if you guys want to be invited, you just got to follow over on right here on Patreon.
He's right. And listen, people, the Discord is fun. The Discord is really fun. I'm not going to tell you.
Everybody has a great time. We're always doing marathons now.
Yes. Lots of marathons and stuff. You guys are going to want to join it just for that alone. Because sometimes I host them. And you guys know how I am. And this guy up here hosts them. We have a few hosts. And we have a great time in there. You guys are going to want to. Just that alone is fun.
I was in there Saturday morning. I went in there and I just watched music videos and or I watched I did music videos and I think like cartoons or something or like commercials or something. It was just a lot of fun. And then like before that, like I was sitting in there, I just watched Evil all day. I was watching the TV show Evil, so I just had like a marathon of that. And then I did some movies and I did Friday the 13th too on Friday the 13th.
Ooh, yes.
So having a good time. So you come into Discord, you come hang out, but you got to be a part of the Patreon. It's the best way to get joined up. So head over to the Patreon, follow for free, or join one of the pay tiers. Appreciate the support if you do. Thank you. All right, it's gonna be wild. You know what? I think let's get started here. And before we do, I just want everybody to know this is gonna become a wild conversation. I feel so. Sturdy and I both have feelings about both of these movies.
Strong. We
watched Speak No Evil from 2022 and Speak No Evil from 2024. We're gonna review them. We're gonna start with Speak No Evil from 2022. The story essentially, this is gonna be spoilerish just for people, so you all know. Mm-hmm. So if you don't mind, too bad. No. Let me put that up so everybody sees. So I took a gummy.
Nice.
Get myself prepared for your show. So
yeah, I'm gonna prep after we're done with this one. More.
Well, I want to get started on talking about Speak No Evil from 2022. The story is basically a family, a husband, wife, and their daughter, young daughter, about I'd say 8 or 9, maybe 10. They're out on vacation in Tuscany, just kind of traveling around. They meet they're Danish. They meet another Danish couple.
No, Danish met a Dutch couple.
Dutch couple, that's right. They go, yeah. Okay, sorry, they're Dutch. So the Danish go out and they meet a Dutch couple while on vacation. They become friendly, hang out. The Dutch couple invites the Danish couple to their house for the long weekend. They go. Things become sinister. Start becoming very unsettling. It becomes a story of like almost control in a way, and how far people are willing to go to keep being polite and to keep being, like extreme politeness or extreme, like almost like kindness, like almost afraid to offend anybody. That's sort of the through line to this movie, both movies really.
Yeah.
And they both, just so you know, are very wildly different endings. One is
they are.
The Danish version, and the 2024 version is the American version, starring James McAvoy in the sinister role. So to kind of kick it off with this one came out in 2022, as we were talking about. It was directed by what was his name? Let me pull it up again so that way I have it. I had it and then I lost it. So Christian Taftrup is what I'm going to say. And then the main stars of it are Morten Buren, Citacel CM Koch. They play Born and Louise, who are the couple who have the young daughter, who meet like Patrick and Karen, who are the characters who are sinister in this one. Mm-hmm. It's a wild ride. So to kind of kick it off, this is a horror. They're horror movies.
Yes, they are. Horror and horrific in the sense of what goes on. But they're really good movies.
Straightforward. It's humanistic, like the threat is humanistic. It's not like this big, like, okay, supernatural elements to it or any monstrous elements. Well, there are monstrous elements. Jesus.
Well, yes.
Let's just dive into this one. Because
monsters in the sense of people, not monster in the sense of a monster that you're thinking of, like the monster under your bed. So yeah, monster in your bed, monster in the closet. Nah, This is a real life monster, human beings.
Jesus, this is my second watch of this movie. It pissed me off just as much as the first. This is Sturdy's first watch. I'm gonna give our ratings now. I gave it a 2.5. You gave it a 4.5.
And you know what's funny, Mick?
What?
I'm ready. That's a 5 for me. This movie's a 5 for me.
So,
and the reason why, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So before we get deep in conversation,
Mm-hmm.
should we go down to the American version, share a rating, and talk about that a little bit? Share a rating about that, and then kind of come back and then talk about both?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So for anybody who's watching this as a clip, you're going to want to come back and check this out. But this is our rating of Speak No Evil from 2022. And now let's give our, and this is going to, again, spoilers. We're going to be talking about Speak No Evil from 2024, again, starring James McAvoy, Scoot McNairy, Mackenzie, can't think of her name at the moment. She's been in a ton of stuff. I like her a lot. She's a very good actor. And I didn't know who the woman who played McAvoy's wife in it was. But it's essentially the same movie. It's essentially the same movie up to a point.
I would say up to a point, and we didn't get there yet. But it's a huge change, or even twist, you could say, right? Would you call it a twist?
It's 100. It's a twist that you feel like I feel like when you, so to kind of give you a point, and this is a spoiler, when the turning point for both movies where they both go in wildly different directions is the young boy that the demented family has kidnapped. And you find out like this has all been a ploy for this couple. What they do is they go out, they take children, cut their tongues out, and then just like take those children, like kind of beat them into submission. Very abusive, very disgusting. And this is both across the board, both movies. And then what they do is then so once these kids are like beaten down to just do as they're told, they go out and they go on holiday with these kids and then meet other couples that they realize they test these couples with like different things they do to see if they're submissive people. And then as they feel like they've locked into them, that's when they're like, okay, we're friends, we're gonna, they charm them. Then they invite them out to their house, and that's when they set that couple up to get killed, steal all their stuff, and then take their child and kill the previous child. It's demented, messed up. But again, that's the story. They both take wildly different paths in the way they end.
Honestly, a difference with that too is though with the two is with the American version, they'll kill off the family and kill off the kids or whatever, and just take the new kid. With the other one, remember they were selling the kid to a whole different family. Yeah.
Well, this one they were.
Well,
no. Well, yeah. This one they were. Well, no. Not the girl. Well, they had the girl in the end.
No, they gave her to a different family.
Oh,
remember the guy that came and grabbed her?
The other guy who's doing
and grabbed her out of the car, and he left and took off with her, and she was driving off with another family.
Yes. So like completely first off, we'll get to that reaction. Let's finish up this one real quick. It is I just want to give our ratings for this one, and then we can get started on both movies, because I'm like trying not to say too much until we're comparing and contrasting.
Okay.
We both gave 3.5 out of this one. I really liked it. I liked it more than the original. And I'll get to why in a second, because the original pissed me off. Naturally, it's what it was meant to do. But it was too unbelievable for me. But anyway, I'll get there. So that's our ratings for Speak No Evil 2024, 3.5 each. All right. I realize this is disjointed, but the turning point for each movie is when you discover who the kid is. The boy that they with. It's Abel in the original movie, and it's Ant in the American in the American version, and which he's wearing a football shirt, and they're in England. Like he's wearing essentially a Giants jersey, and they're in England. It's like, come on. It's like, let's be real. Let's be real.
Really quick, can we speak on that and something that I found strange?
Well, let me finish. I just want to finish the point, because I've been trying to get this out. That's the turning point for each movie, because you find Abel, like the father Bjorn in the movie, who's the submissive jerk off one. Well, they both are actually. He finds Abel dead in a pond where they killed his parents.
Yep.
And then and where I thought they did a better job in the American version, as they're trying to pull out, because like this whole big abusive scene just happened, and they're like disgusted by this family. They're in their car pulling out, and they realize they're getting away from trouble. And he looks, and the father looks back, and he sees him throw the kid into this pond knowing he can't swim. So he stops it. He's like, he stops the car and then goes back, and he tells them to go. He's like, you go, I'm going back to get him. And they goes back and get him. That's when the tables are sort of turned on the family. Okay. I'm sorry. I know I cut you off. I just wanted to put that point out there.
No, you're good. You're good. My only thing was, I was just gonna say with Ant real quick with his jersey, he was wearing that every day. And the one family that they didn't say it, like everybody else had different clothes but him. Nobody said a thing about it.
But not just that, he wore that every day, but he was wearing it in the picture. If I'm correct, he remember when he was showing the pictures of him with his family. I thought he was wearing that same shirt.
He may have been.
It's so weird. So like, let's pick these apart a bit. I really want to get into them. So we get these two movies that are wildly different. So the way it ends, I'll just go over so that way we can just go point by point. The way the original 2022 version ends, Bjorn finds Abel's dead body while he goes back to the house to try and get her stuffed animal, his daughter's stuffed animal. She's like super compulsive about it. They're very babying to her and such. So her anxiety goes up if she doesn't have it. It's like a very safety blanket sort of thing for her. I know. At some point, you just got to be like, they're murdering people. We have to go. You have to be a parent. Yeah. You just got to deal. And like, I'm watching this, and like, so he realizes, he sees the kid dead. He goes through hell trying to get back to his family, who's stranded on the side of the road, gets picked up by the family. Or no, meets with the father, Patrick, and they're on that beach. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I got your family. Like, basically, I got your family in the car. Get in the car. You do everything I say. He's like crying, like this Bjorn character. He's like losing his shit. He gets in the car. They're just driving with him for a while, like telling the kid, like the little girl feels like very uneasy. The mother's, and like the guy's like, shut up. He's like being real, like mean aggressive to her and such. Real aggressive, like to the point where like, I just want to keep hitting this guy. And he's in the I'm going to get fuming during this. Bjorn is in the passenger. Her father is in the passenger seat listening to this man. First of all, you have your family in this situation. Yep. And you're listening to this man like berate your kid, berate your wife, tell him to shut up, and you're doing nothing. Gonna piss you off all over for that one. But then you get they get to a certain spot, and like Sturdy had said, there's this other family. They grab the daughter out of the car. And
before that though, remember when they cut the daughter's tongue out right in front of the parents.
Right in front of the parents. Right in front of the parents.
Basically what happened, the dad tried but didn't try hard. He didn't even try hard. He just did a little bullshit. Then he got punched up a couple times and just stopped. And his wife got
I'm sorry. There's no punching you can do to me that's going to make me okay with what's going on. First of all, I'm not getting in that car. I'm strangling you. Because if I'm strangling you to death, your wife's getting out of that car. When she gets out of that car and you're dead, I'm going to murder her next, and then my family's gone. I will do anything I can. Like, I don't care. I'm sorry. Like, that's how mad this movie made me. There's no
job though, man. And that right there is what I enjoyed about it, is because it gave me that emotion. It gave me that, like, it gave you that sense of like, how the hell are you a parent? How are you a husband? How are you a wife? All that, and let all this go down. Because yes, you could put it on the husband, but it's like the wife is the number 2 in position. If she sees he's not stepping up, you need to step the fuck, at the very least, for your fucking child. She started to later in the movie, but there was a lot of things.
Did she? Like, she talked back because she was like kind of oblivious to what was going on.
But she was at least saying something.
Dude, first of all, if my kid is in bed with you're naked, like he was naked in that bed with that with the daughter. Yes. Like, I'm gone. And yeah, I don't feel bad about it. First of all, I'm gone after I've whooped your ass all up and down your own home.
Well, you remember though, Bjorn didn't go in. He was sleeping. The mother went in there and found the daughter was in the room. I don't think she told him.
I thought she did tell him, because they did say something in the American version. So I did just rewatch the 2022 version. I thought she did at least say, and he's just such a pussy in the movie. And I don't care. Like, say whatever you want. I don't mind sensitive, but this is beyond sensitive. Should be mad. If you are like this in life and this actually exists, I feel so bad for you. I feel horrible for you, because you need to figure it out. If you let this happen, and you let this happen to people you care about because you're just weak, because this isn't politeness. This isn't kindness. No. This is weakness.
And there's a difference. There's one thing where you fight, and you may lose your life, and you tried. But to just sit there, there's no
other response. That's the thing. Like,
there's
fight, or flight. Yes, there's other natural instinctual reactions we have physically, but there is never because at the end they force the couple to undress after their daughter's tongue was cut out and taken right in front of them, taken away, gone.
Yeah,
they don't know where they're going.
And we had this conversation behind the scenes because we were talking about this movie for the past few days. Again, if it would never get that far, but if it gets that far, why would I even listen to you? You just took everything from me. So now I'm going to try my best to take everything from you. And if I can, it's not,
but like, and even if like you're saying this isn't us, so we wouldn't understand this type of reaction, it's still not a real reaction. You wouldn't let them take you after they just took your daughter. Your daughter's gone. Again, your daughter's gone. They cut her tongue out and took her from you, and she's gone. So your only option is to fucking kill them and to go find your daughter at any means necessary. Even though you let her get, I'm not even going to get into that, but like now you're in a quarry. They drove you to a quarry. They don't have guns. There's no guns on them.
They have nothing.
They have nothing. There's no weapons or guns. This guy has just established his dominance, and so did the wife on these two, that they are just like afraid and weak and like, okay, it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be weak. I'm not even saying that. But this is a weakness that your body will not react to. They make them strip down and then walk into the quarry as they stone them to death. And and they both just lay down. It's not like they're running. It's not like they're scrambling to not get hit. They are taking the hits and then lay down and let them stone them to death as the daughter is being taken somewhere else. Like,
they gave up.
That's not like it.
But then I can't even say
it's fine, but giving up in a sense is I'm giving up. I know I'm going to lose my life, so I'm going to try. That's giving up, or giving up to a sense that's like I can't physically move. I can't do anything. Like I'm so hurt, so beaten, so torn, and then just succumbing to your like understandably because you have already done something. This wasn't. This was comply. And I don't understand how anybody has that reaction after the shit that they put them through.
Yeah. I was gonna say it was like that since day one, though. And then another weird thing, like there's nothing strange about, say, you go on vacation, maybe you meet another couple, and you're not friends, but you're just like, hey, let's, you have fun, whatever. Let's go grab something to eat. You know what I mean? Something like that, like little couple casual things. But there's no way in hell that I'm gonna meet you on vacation.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while.
And take, even if you hang out 3 times that week or however many days you hang out that week, I don't care if you hang out the whole fucking week. I'm not coming to your house.
No. And that's why I think I like the American version so much more, because we just railed on the other one. So for 2024, because we're kind of rounding out the show, the 2024 version ends very American. They go back. Like I said, they do comply a lot. They keep going back. There's sort of challenges. That's what I like about the wife character, the American. I can't think of her name at the moment, but like.
But you know what too though was the parents did step up at a turning point, but the kid, the boy too, was also like
the boy too. Yes, the boy was. That was a very American reaction. Like, I'm not going to let this happen.
The boy is the hero of this film.
100%, and that's what I want to touch down on before we move on or do anything else. So it ends with the ending where the turning point is here. Instead of him going back to get the doll, they went back to get the doll. He bitched them out more. He made him climb a ladder, get the doll. Like, they really just screw with this family. Mackenzie Davis, that's her name in a character who plays the Scoot McNairy's wife, the American wife in it, does a great job the entire time of almost challenging McAvoy's challenges. He won't. Scoot McNairy's character won't. He just does everything. He's like complying until it's time to not comply. Until it literally it's a visceral reaction. He has to do something. He has to fight or it's over. And again, I can take flight in a movie. I can take fight in a movie. If like they were running around, like maybe they got all the way naked, but as soon as that first rock hit, they were like, we have to run. And like they just couldn't help. Like she got hit in the head, maybe died, and then like he went back to fight and they killed him. That's a more believable story. Or like they just caught them.
Or I mean, you could say that or like if they made it look better or more believable, I guess when they're getting stoned, like say if she got hit in the head first, got knocked down, he just was like, you know what? I give up. I'm at least going to shield her.
Yeah.
Then I get that as well. But again, I still like that one better. I still like her better. But
the cool part about all of it is with the American version for me that I really liked was the stoning. They did pay it off because the young boy Ant who was trying to warn the kids, warn him the whole time, as being real dismissive and being just really fighting back. And like McAvoy is so terrifying in this movie. He is he is an abusive dad in this movie. Like, I don't know what he called on, but like, he was scaring me in this movie. And like, he's a type of guy that like I understand and I'm afraid I would ever turn into. You know, like I'd be terrified because like it's so easy for somebody to become like this, that type of monster. And like the kid in it does such a great job of an abused child, which I recognize as well, and a little bit too much with the blonde hair and the blue eyes. So it was just one of those movies that really spoke to me. And his face at the end, because they pay off the stoning at the end, they overcome them. James McAvoy's character, they take him down, and like he's still challenging them, and then the boy smashes his face with the brick. He gets his like justice for all the abuse that this kid went through, and they drive off, and this kid's just sitting in the car, and you see this terrified face. The only thing I can compare, I'm not comparing the movies, I'm not saying the movies are on the same level, but the only thing I can compare that face to that was so well acted and so well done by this kid is this movie called Come and See, which is the hardest movie anybody will ever watch. I guarantee it. It's horrifying, and it's the hardest movie anyone will ever watch. You will walk away from that hurt and demented a little bit more. So just by saying that, but like the boy's face in that, it was very reminiscent. It was just the trauma surging through, shine through. It was wonderful acting, really well done. I think McAvoy killed it. I liked Mackenzie Davis in this. The little boy was very good. Everybody did a great job.
I'll say for both movies, there was really good acting.
Yeah. I just did not like that ending. I just think that ending is bullshit.
That's fair. That's fair.
I don't even care about the tragic ending, because you're not even, they're getting killed in that first movie in 2022 isn't a tragic ending for them. It's the tragedy is the little girl.
Yeah.
When you see it
100%.
later, and it's such, the only thing I will say, not bookend, but like the sort of like opposite approach they took to the ending, where you're like zoomed in on the little girl. Clearly can't talk, tongue cut out, and she's just submitted to the life that she's in, and they're driving up to a new place to go to the next con and whatever, and then you end it with the little boy in the car being brought to safety, realizing that all of this terror is over. That to me was a good payoff after the 2022 version. That was tragic of an ending for me.
That is fair, but my reasoning for liking the other one better is because like the 2024 version, yes, leading up, everything leading up, but it had the happy end. It had the happy ending to an extent, because there's nothing happy about what happened. Of course, if it's real life, there's gonna be trauma and all that other stuff, but again, for the movie, it had a happier ending. But for the other one, like that one's gonna stick with me a lot more. You know what I mean? Like that one, I'll think about so much more. That one, I'm gonna carry with me more. That one is the one that I'm gonna recommend to people more. I just liked it better. I think because it's more horrific at the end of the day. Like fuck the parents, but like that child gets taken away.
And that's the thing. Like I don't even care about them. It's the fact that the child wasn't protected.
Because you could even think about it from. Oh, well, actually, no, I want to go back to this. In both movies, one thing that I did really, really love, and I felt like it was one of the hardest lines I've ever seen in a movie, is when, why are you doing this to us? Because you let me. Not because I can, not because you're home, not because you were here, because you let me.
And that was some cold shit. And they delivered both those lines, and they both did it effectively. But that 2022 version, the fact that it's after the daughter's tongue getting cut off, the daughter getting taken,
all that.
And they're stripped down nude. They're officially at the end of this journey. They're going to die. Like there's no way you think you get out of this, because they've just made you strip down in a quarry by yourselves at night. What's going to happen? Right.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that the first thing you want to know is, and like, you're right, that line was delivered perfectly in that movie. And it pisses me off even more, because it's like, because you did let him. So,
but, and I want to see, and here's the thing, people, if you've watched both of these movies, or if you haven't, I suggest you watch them both, honestly, seriously, and compare them. But think about, like, if a week later, 2 weeks later, a month later, which one are you still thinking about? You're gonna be thinking about that one that really left that bigger impact. Like, I mean, for me at least.
But that's the beautiful thing about it. I get it, but I'm also coming from the perspective of James McAvoy really reminded me. It was very familiar, and it scared me. So that stuck with me quite a bit, because even like the other dad did too. The other dad, the guy who played Patrick, because he was Patty in that movie, McAvoy, but then Patrick, the Dutch dude, when he goes into the kid's room at night and he's screaming at him, he's like, "Stop crying!" And he's yelling. That's happened to me, and when I listen to that, I'm like jumping like that. But what drives me nuts is that's the dad that kid would turn into McAvoy. So that's where I see like a correlation in this movie. That's the dad that would the kid would turn up to be McAvoy. And that's what scares me. It's just that generational, it feels so familiar and stuff like that. So like these movies are really well done. I do think you should watch both for both perspectives. I don't think anybody should write off the American version as just American version and like
not at all.
I think it's well done. I think it's well acted, both of them, and I think they just take different routes. And I do think that an American version would end like this. I'm sorry, and this isn't, I do love fucking America, but whatever. Like, and I'll say it, but I don't think an American. This is a Straw Dogs ending, and I like this remake. And Straw Dogs, great movie too if you haven't seen. But yeah, that's my stance.
I mean. I'll tell you like this, people. My revenge in this type of situation would be go watch I Saw the Devil. See the end of that movie.
Yeah, well, I do watch Straw Dogs too.
Yes,
if you do like this movie, watch both those movies. Those movies are very good for what we're talking about here.
Disgusting, because that one, right? Because honestly, I don't want to spoil it, but just saying what happens in the beginning of I Saw the Devil, and then the way that it ends, that revenge is sweet.
It is. It's so good. All right, let's move on. So we're finishing out the show, guys, because we're going to be getting on a sturdy show. But we have an all-new mixed movie pick. That's right, from 1963. I chose To Kill a Mockingbird. If you haven't read it, it's a great book. If you haven't watched it, it's a great movie. Atticus Finch, played by Gregory Peck in the movie, is the epitome of character and integrity. He plays a Southern lawyer who takes up a case where a black man is falsely accused of beating and raping a white woman in the South. And it becomes very vicious towards him. But Atticus Finch stands up. And it's kind of like a time to kill in that instance where, like, to associate a little bit with a newer movie people may have seen, where he takes up the case. And there's also a lot of story about Atticus and his life and like his kids. And it's a movie about tolerance. It's a movie about showing compassion and care and love for your fellow man rather than attacking or being vicious or cruel or disgusting. Great themes in the book, great themes in the movie, and very well acted. We are going to be doing tomorrow or Thursday should be coming out a brand new classic film review on To Kill a Mockingbird with more information about the movie and behind the scenes. So go check that out. But I want to thank my wonderful guest tonight, Mr. Sir Sturdy himself.
Yes,
Go check out the Horror Sir Sturdy podcast coming up next. You're definitely going to want to follow. I can't wait. It's going to be a really good time. We're talking about a movie called Evil Dead Trap. And then part 2 will be talked about on Thursday, like I said. And you're going to want to join up on his Discord so you can watch the Blackwell Ghost 3 tomorrow night. I can't wait to check it out.
8 o'clock Eastern time. And I got to say this. Listen, I have a foreign correspondent on my show. Thanks to this gentleman right above me right here. You're going to want to tune in just for him alone, because this guy he's very, very knowledgeable. And I really appreciate his friendship. I really appreciate his knowledge. Shout out to you, Trevor, because it's just so cool. When I'm down here, it's just so cool when you find other people that are interested in things that you are, and including like the really weird, strange, crazy shit. Like that's the guy to go to. And for him to not only have that, but then to have the knowledge of like these other cultures and know how to just pronounce it, the respect he has for him, that's so dope. So big shout out to you.
Yeah. And Trevor is awesome. Go check him out on Ambassador Radio and Media. Troy Hill's joining in too. Troy Hill Talks usually joins in, so you can check him out as well. But I will say this, he's absolutely right. And you can go check Trevor out. We did 16 weeks. There's a 16-part series here on the Scene Snobs channel where we talked about every Godzilla movie and the TV series and everything else. So go check that out. You can check out Trevor. He's very smart too. You can check out Trevor on Horror Sir Sturdy. I want to say thank you to my guest, Horror Sir Sturdy, coming in and co-hosting with me. Paul is on location. He is working. Good luck, Paul. We love you, buddy. We hope you're having a great time, man. It's so fun. He is working as a PA on Bloody Summer Camp 2. We wish him all the best. And guys, but until next time, next week, we're going to be talking about book adaptations in the movies. We're going to have a really good time with that one, so make sure to join in for it. We're going to talk about it for Stephen King's birthday. I'm Mick Manhattan from the Scene Snobs. I want to say thank you guys so much for joining in. Remember, join up over at the Patreon, get you into the Discord, get you a lot more other stuff where you're part of the channel even more. We're going to be moving behind the Patreon with our live shows, after the 5th anniversary coming up in October. So you're going to want to check that out and be a part of it. So make sure you just follow over there. That will be for the free members as well. So can't wait to be a part of it with you guys. Thank you again. Remember to join the Snob Nation. We love movies. So remember, and I fucked it up, but it's live, so it's okay. So I'll go with it. We love movies, and we know you do too. So join the Snob Nation. That's the saying. Remember to be kind, remember to be kind, stay classy, and take care of yourselves. And talk to you soon.